Jimmy Kimmel, broadcasting from the Hollywood Masonic Temple, where he always broadcasts from, took a little stab at gematria. And we're going to take a look at this clip. We're going to elaborate on what the woman who was being interviewed, the point she was trying to make. And she very well might have made the point, but they might have just cut it out. Let's get this clip up here, and then we'll talk more about it.
You think Princess Diana is still alive?
Absolutely, 100%. Do you?
I didn't, but maybe you have something that you know that I don't know.
There's ways that we can figure these things out. So if people start learning ABC 1, 2, 3, which Michael Jackson talked about how many years ago, right? He sang about. So when people start understanding gematria, they start understanding the numbers. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3.
Wow. These new Florida math textbooks are a mess. I am glad to hear Princess Diana's alive.
So she brings up Princess Diana, and then she brings up ABC as 1, 2, 3, and we don't know how long that interview went on for. She might have very well showed these things, but Princess Diana reportedly died August 31st, 1997 in a crash in a tunnel where no one could really see anything. The day of that crash was 132 days after Queen Elizabeth's birthday. If you take A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, like the woman was saying, up to Z, the 26 is 26, and you write out Princess Diana, it equals 132. She's dead 132 days after the head of the royal family's birthday. And keep in mind, it was her 71st birthday, Queen Elizabeth. If you use the same cipher, royal equals 71. And then adding insult to injury, Princess Diana's birthday is July 1st, 7-1. And from her birthday to her death on August 31st was 62 days later, and Queen is 62. Not to mention Queen Elizabeth became queen on February 6th in history when her father died. In the UK, they write that date 6/2. Of course, in the US, we write June 2nd, 6/2. That's also the day of Queen Elizabeth's coronation. February 6th, her reign began. June 2nd, she had her coronation. But this is the ABC is 1, 2, 3 code. But I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the woman was referring to. In recent history, in 2016, on Queen Elizabeth's birthday, Prince died. And again, Prince had that hit song, I Would Die For You, and he spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U. Use the 21st letter. So his song, if you read it in gematria terms, it said, I would die 4/21, because he wrote it with the number 4 and the letter U. What day does Prince die? 4/21. He dies in an elevator. He has the lyrics from the song Let's Go Crazy about the elevator. He also had the song 319. He died 319 days after his birthday. Again, you put this on the TV, right? You add a little laugh track to it. You make it seem silly. You put in a little joke there. Ooh, the math books must be really screwed up in Florida. So Jimmy Kimmel's a lot like Bill Maher, these two famous comedians on TV. They're both of Jewish ancestry, but both raised Catholic. It matters because the Jesuits, who have encoded the language, whose calendar we're on, who are behind these rituals, the Jesuits are Catholic and Jewish. So when you look at Bill Maher, when you look at Jimmy Kimmel, you're essentially looking at the Jesuit order. Jimmy Kimmel broadcasts from the Masonic Temple of Hollywood, who made modern Freemasonry. The Jesuits made modern Freemasonry in the banking district of London, just like how they have the Templar cross in their logo, and the Templars are the original bankers. Again, just with that most simple cipher that he's making fun of, in light of him being in the Masonic Temple, Masonic is 74. Masons are into occult knowledge like gematria. Occult is 74. Gematria is 74. English is 74. Again, gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. It comes from Jewish mysticism. Jimmy Kimmel, Bill Maher, both Jewish, but both raised Catholic. And look at the Supreme Court. It's the same thing. The Supreme Court's all Catholic and Jewish. Look at all the rituals. Every time they put in a Supreme Court justice, it's by the numbers. And so often it's that same number. The flip of 74 is 47. Judge is 47. Biden gets his first Supreme Court justice in the Masonic city, D.C., named after the Mason George Washington, where the Jesuits have been there longer than the Feds or the Masons. Biden gets his first Supreme Court justice on April 7th, just like Trump got his first Supreme Court justice, Neil McGill Gorsuch, on April 7th. But again, just this 74 list, Holiday, 74. If you use numerology, Independence Day is 74, like how we write 7 for our Independence Independence Day. Holiday means holy day. Pay attention when the Jewish holy days roll around, when the Christian holy days roll around, when the Islamic holy days roll around. This is when they love to have their rituals to get the maximum emotional impact from people. And when I say they, I'm talking about the Jesuit Masonic Alliance that controls this world, that messes with people by the numbers every day, by the code of ABC 123. Again, you think holy day in this English-speaking nation, you think Jesus and Christmas and Easter. Cross, Messiah, Gospel, parables, they're all 74. Gospel's the story of Jesus who spoke in parables, who's Messiah in the Christian faith, who's put on the cross. They're all 74. And I just want to show you something real quick. I want to get rid of this cipher, and I want to give you another cipher. I'm going to write out Independence Day just to start in here, just so you can see. If you take the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, it's 74, right? In this same cipher, Kobe Bryant's 41. Dead at 41 while traveling from Catholic Mass January 26th, which was the Pope's 41st day of his age. The Lakers would end up winning the finals exactly 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday. Like we said, LeBron got traded from the 17th state to the Lakers on July 1st, a date that can be written 1-7 like 17, NBA 17, and I said that day, I said, watch, LeBron will win the Lakers their 17th championship in his 17th season. With regards to Jimmy Kimmel doing the memorial for the Kobe Bryant service, he even said in the memorials, like, I don't know why I was picked to do this, and I just want you to see, the name of that memorial was A Celebration of Life, Kobe and Gianna Bryant, and the name of that memorial equaled 317. Jimmy Kimmel is born on the 317th day of the year. It was a date with 66 numerology, as we'll get to, but 317 is also the 66th prime number. You had Alicia Keys perform Moonlight Sonata, and they said that Kobe learned to play that in record time because he could, he was a very gifted man. He was a great basketball player. He spoke multiple languages. He could play the piano. This was all part of the ceremony. But it was a date with 66 numerology. You got Moonlight Sonata 66. It's a celebration for the Lakers' great player, Kobe. Lakers is 66. LeBron 66. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology, LeBron James is 66. Again, gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards with the rules of numerology. But even if you don't run it backwards, you can still see through most of the rituals. Remember, LeBron passed Kobe in points scored in Philly, Kobe's hometown, the day before Kobe's death. And let's not forget, Philadelphia is mentioned in the 66th book of the Bible, Revelation. But no doubt, this is why they picked Jimmy Kimmel for the ceremony. It had everything to do with the Jesuits and the Catholic Church. So get the good Catholic, TV show host to host the event in LA. And again, if you go back and watch it, Jimmy Kimmel says, I don't know why I was picked for this. And I'm pretty sure that's why you were picked, Jimmy, because you were born on the 317th day of the year. And again, don't play dumb about gematria. You're of Jewish ancestry. It's a Jewish practice. And with regards to number of the beast equaling 66, remember, Kobe in his 666th game scored his career high of 81 points. If you write out Kobe's full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, it's 54. He died the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. If you run his name in reverse with numerology, it's 81, like how he scored 81 in his 666th game. But notice, Mark of the Beast, which is, also the phrase related to the number of the beast, which you must have if you want to buy or sell. Kobe Bean Bryant and Mark of the Beast are both 54 and 81. Here, let me make it bigger. Kobe scored 81 in his career high in his 666th game. They can make fun of this stuff all they want and add a laugh track to it, but the reality is, it's not a joke, and this is what goes on every day. And Jimmy Kimmel, broadcasting at the Masonic Temple, again, the Jesuits and Masons are all into this knowledge. If you write out Masonry, it's 33. If you write out order, it's 33. If you write out secrecy, it's 33. Again, gematria is as simple as ABC 123. And again, you apply that code, you can see right through Princess Diana's death. Again, Jimmy Kimmel, I'd love to come on the show. You guys can try to make fun of me with the laugh track. I got examples for days. We can go over the deaths of the people connected to you. We can go over all the rituals you've done over the years. Take this code to some of these mass shootings that Jimmy Kimmel's fake crying about, and then see what you see. You'll see a load of evidence that it's a load of shit. As I say load of evidence, think about all these mass shootings that you haven't seen any evidence for. Just bullshit-ass stories on the news. And think about this, too. Think about me in Washington State on February 7th exposing the fact that there wasn't a shooting that they were reporting in the national news, and I even got the head police officer on the scene who was being quoted in every paper from the New York Times to the rest of them to say on camera that he wasn't even allowed to go in the shooting, supposedly the scene of the shooting himself, and hadn't seen anything himself, and was being made to report through the details he was getting through his cell phone. And again, this is the national news, him being quoted, a guy who can't even go in there while the feds are in the building, and then supposedly the feds arrest the shooter 11 hours later on a federal interstate, when I'm there at the scene and the helicopter's parked at the scene and every cop in town's in the parking lot, while supposedly in the national headlines there's a manhunt for the shooter, while there's no evidence that there's any manhunt happening anywhere. And then you got Jimmy Kimmel on TV going, oh, these online conspiracy theorists. Oh, I mean, these people are fucking goons. This is not an American. This is a Catholic scumbag. And remember, this nation was founded by people trying to escape Catholic scumbags. And let's not forget what the Protestant Reformation was against. It was against Catholics and you-know-whos, which Jimmy Kimmel and Bill Maher represent perfectly.